Hey everyone, I hope you guys are doing well during this pandemic. My name is Alex Briere and welcome to this video on street photography. At the end of January, I had the opportunity to go to Toronto and take some photos, and I thought it'd be interesting to share with you guys some of the things that worked, some of the things that didn't work, and provide some tips if you guys are interested in photography. All right, let's get right into it.
There he is.
Excellent.
This is Chris Brown, the original.
Yeah, the original, the official.
Yeah.
This is Ralu. She's a Greek hound.
Hi.
And this is Toby the cat.
Might be the windiest day of the year.
50-kilometer winds.
Is it?
His head.
All right, we first made our way to the financial district. This is a great place to start because there's a lot happening, and there's two buildings that actually frame the CN Tower perfectly. And so yeah, I started off taking some photos of the CN Tower, and eventually I noticed there was a Canadian flag above me, and I thought this photo turned out pretty good. I like the buildings in the background, and this leads me to my first piece of advice, which is to be present. If you're showing up to a new city or a new spot, just take some time to observe what's around you, physically move yourself, look at things from different angles, and see if you can create some compositions that are unique. And almost do a little bit of pre-production before you start taking photos. We moved a little bit closer and I noticed this bike rack. I thought it would be interesting to try shooting through it and see if I could use the bike rack as a foreground element to frame the CN Tower. And although I thought this was working out well, I still felt like it was missing something.
All right, Chris is going to walk across,
Yeah.
giving me a subject.
Right now it's kind of like the snow's cool, but we need someone in there.
This leads to tip number 2, which is to create a story with your photo. By adding Chris to this photo, it now has purpose. We've created a scene, and here I think this worked out well. So tip number 2, tell stories with your photos. This leads to my next tip, which is to find interesting light. The best time to do this is typically in the morning or as the sun's setting.
Really nice lighting actually on that building.
I noticed some nice light hitting the building in the background, and it was creating a nice shadow on the right here. I think the contrast between the building on the left and the building on the right makes this photo pop. It would be great in a set of photos. All right, there wasn't too much else happening here, so we decided to move on. I did like the light in the background, so I asked Chris if he wouldn't mind standing in. I switched my aperture to 1.4 to get that blurred out bokeh, and I think this image turned out very nice.
All right, we'll get some CN Tower B-roll.
Still down here on King Street. Alex just treated me to a nice dinner. I go to the bathroom and the guy's already left. He's out here on the street shooting photos. Guy can't even be stopped.
Here I'm trying to grab a reflection from the bus as it's moving towards me.
It's kind of cool.
Oh, wow.
I'm always on the lookout for reflections. I find I have the best luck with puddles, windows from buildings, and I found that the hood of cars sometimes works really well too. All right, this is tip number 4, find reflections and create symmetry in your images.
That's pretty sick.
That's crazy.
I'm very happy Chris saw this. This is another great example of being present, as I would have easily just walked right past this and missed this opportunity. We then hopped on the bus and made our way to the Toronto Distillery District, which was hosting the Toronto Light Festival. And here there was just a lot to take in. There was a lot of artwork and lights everywhere.
Things are kind of interesting up here.
This contraption was crazy. It was filled with these dangling strings of light that were constantly changing. And I actually found this to be kind of a challenge because every time I would set up to take a photo, the light would constantly move to a different area. But here I was just having some fun experimenting with different angles, and I think I created a couple abstract shots that turned out okay. But by far the best shot of the night was when we rounded the corner and came across a massive puddle. And yeah, this is by far my favorite photo of the night. Kind of has that Tron vibe to it. It's telling a story, it's very interesting to look at, which makes this photo very compelling.
This wraps up street photography in Toronto. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned something, or at least were inspired to want to go out and take photos, even though you can't. You're stuck at home until, I don't know. If you guys enjoyed this video, throw a like on it, subscribe to my channel. I plan on making more videos, and until the next video, peace.